Is Emmanuel, and today we're going to be talking about how to attract and retain top talent in the Kenyan workspace. So with me today, I have a guest, as you can see, and I'm really glad to have an HR expert to share a few insights around the topic. So I'm looking forward, but he's going to introduce himself. So some house rules, really quickly. The webinar is going to last between 30 and 45 minutes. So looking forward to that. As you can see below the screen, I think there's an option where you can ask your questions. So please just write them up and we're going to read them out and address them as we go ahead. Cool? All right. So as I mentioned, the topic is how to attract and retain top performers. I am going to, be more around how to attract the right performers, because as BrighterMonday, our core role is to advertise opportunities for you, the employer. So how do you position yourself to ensure that you're getting the best? While my co-host is going to dive more into how to retain them, because it's an equal, share of attracting and retaining. Cool. So very quickly, I'll jump into my host. Please, can you introduce yourself?
Great, Emmanuel, how are you?
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. My name is Perminus Wainaina. I'm the managing partner at Corporate Staffing Services. Corporate Staffing Services is a HR registered firm with the Ministry of Labour and Institute of Human Resource Management, where we offer recruitment and HR consultancy services for Kenya and the wider East Africa market. And for candidates, we offer free job placement service. So if you're in the market, either looking to employ top talent, or if you're looking for a job or greener pastures, come to Corporate Staffing Services. So, Emmanuel, thank you so much for the invite. We work with BrighterMonday in the sense that we also post our open vacancies with them, and we've really registered a lot of success through this partnership.
Thank you so much, Perminus. So I'll just go quickly into the top questions that employers ask us as BrighterMonday. So the first one is, when an employee is looking for talent, they really want to get a quality talent to fill the role.
Yes.
So they ask us, will you provide me with quality candidates? And the answer has always been yes, because I believe we have the widest reach of professionals in the Kenyan market space, and that's why Perminus recruitment firm uses us just to have an extended reach of quality talent within our database. And as you've heard from the man himself, he's quite happy because he's satisfying his customers' needs. So yes, we do. I think the second question is, so for me to post a job on BrighterMonday, what do I need to do? And it's a very easy steps, because this in fact is part of what we're going to be discussing today about attracting the right fit for your organization. So all you need to do as an employer is look at the gaps within your organization, identify them, because this is your job now. You know what you want to achieve, you know the gaps that within your organization, and you know the type of skills that needs to come and complement other people within your organization so that you have a success or a winning team. So you have to look at the gaps. After you do that, you put down your job description, and put it down doesn't mean copy paste,
yes,
isn't it? You find some people really pulling it from other sites and just pasting it and putting their company name. So that would be a big mistake if you do that, because that doesn't represent who you are as a company. So put in the job description, write the top 4 skills that you're looking from the person that you want to attract for your company. Once you do that, also tell the job seekers more about your company. It's very important to do that, right, for me?
Yes, yes.
So that's
what makes you stand out. Yeah.
What makes you stand out, right? So what makes you stand out? What's your vision? Are you a young company? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? These are exciting things that really attract even people who are passive job seekers who are not looking for jobs. And they may think that you are an employer of choice, and they apply to your company. So the other things, if you have details like there's some allowances, or there's some bonuses for performance, benefits, all these things, put them down, because it goes a long way to attract the right person for you. Put the location if it's necessary, and also the location if it's necessary. I think those are some of the few things. So have your job description right to attract the right person, And I'll talk more later about some of the solution on how you can brand your company. Cool. All right. So the next is Perminus. Let me just turn back to you. What keeps employees engaged? Because what we see when we discuss about this topic, people only think about salaries.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to keep people in my company, I have to increase their salaries.
Yeah.
Is that a fact or it's a myth?
Let me start by defining engagement, because it's a HR term, and some people might think it's a buzzword, just a term that has just been coined the other day. So when you talk about employee engagement, is think about, is this employee, number one, happy to report to work? Number two, do they enjoy what they do? And number three, are they productive? So I'll look at engagement through those three factors. And you mentioned the issue of salary. Salary is key. Reward is really key. In fact, a survey that we did 2 years back, it showed that number one criteria for why someone would consider to stay in a job is the level of compensation. Because realistically, employees also need to meet their needs.
Sure.
So someone you look at it is, does this job allow me to meet my needs? Then the second concern is, am I being paid what I'm worth? And what you're worth depends now on the market. I mean, if my colleagues are earning 20-30% more for the same kind of position, then clearly there's a problem. Yeah. And employees are quite realistic. Someone working for an SME will not demand the same kind of reward like someone working for a multinational.
Yeah, true.
So people understand and they put things into context.
Yeah.
The problem is you as an employer, if you don't put also things into context. Yeah. And there's this misconception, especially in the Kenyan market, where you find there's a high level of unemployment. Sometimes an employer might think, no, if Emmanuel leaves or Perminus leaves, it's just a case of having someone else on board. Precisely. But really, the question is, how much does it cost you to keep hiring? And again, how long does it take these new people to catch up? So you might as well meet the needs of your current staff to avoid that issue of high turnover and people who are not.
Which is very expensive and costly.
Precisely.
Yeah. I don't know if the Charles who are watching actually measure that.
Yeah.
Because if you consider there's the cost of recruitment itself, yes. So if they come to BrighterMonday or corporate staffing to have that staff within the organization, it costs them money, time, and maybe there's training. They have
the disruption.
And there's disruption, so they waste a lot of time and money.
You can imagine if it's a client who already knows you, and tomorrow I'm introducing them to Esther or someone else. I mean, they'll start building relationships and such kind of things. So in terms of really engaging people, in fact, attracting and keeping them engaged, I would say really reward, compensation really plays a very great role. Yeah. Studies have been done, and it's actually 40%. Money really can't have a motivating factor.
Cool. Yeah. Great. So can we dive straight into how to attract and retain? What are the key considerations? First of all, for the employer, what's that checkpoint that they have to consider? I've mentioned about attracting them and speaking about your brand. Maybe we need to elaborate more on that. But what are the other key points that our audience are going to have it as a checklist so that they go through it to ensure that they're not missing out and their hiring pattern is not very expensive?
Good. So we've already looked at the issue of money, compensation, and someone might ask me then, where do I get these details? I mean, it's not every day that you find these details in the open. And I would advise them, look at a website like BrighterMonday. If you go pick a category, say finance, you'll be able to see at a glance from the low level to high level. And nowadays, employers they're open to disclosing those salaries. So that's the first step. However, if you have resources, you can do a survey. So every 2 years, do a survey to see, are you really, within the level that your competitors or similar companies are. So that's that. I just wanted to clarify that.
But before you move on, I think you mentioned a very important point, because we have all this data from companies looking for a certain type of talent within different companies, and some companies always ask us, especially if it's an entrant or a new company within the market space, they'll ask us, what's the fair rate to offer this person within this. I know you're part of what the research that you do, but you use this real data to show the average salary range for that position, and our audience are welcome to engage more.
I've seen BrighterMonday. I've seen the same data published on Business Day. I think.
Yes, we do that.
So that's something I would encourage employers. Seek experts also. You can buy a report instead of you going through the whole motion. If you don't have the technical capacity to do such a survey, you can come to BrighterMonday also. So that's one point. The other thing, and very important, is the job security aspect. You don't want to wake up in Monday and you come to such a nice office, but you find tomorrow you're not sure whether you have a job. So job security, people are concerned about continuity. Because it's only through continuity that you can be able to plan. So people will actually forego a higher pay if you give them the assurance of job security.
But how do you do that?
Job security comes in form of communication. Can people predict? Do people understand? Do they understand, for example, where corporate staffing or BrighterMonday is going? Do you share the vision and the mission?
That's true.
Do they know when there are wins? Do they know when there are losses? Because you have to be realistic. You not always have a good day. So, and then what is the relationship between the bosses and the juniors? So all these things really account to when we talk about job security.
Sure.
Yeah,
I would like to add.
I don't want us to surprise us.
I know.
Yeah.
And people, it's fair to them because they have families to take care of.
They have families.
They have responsibilities that they have to attend to. And it's good to get them comfortable with the work environment.
And it's just good manners.
Yes.
Just don't surprise someone.
Yes. But part of it, I think, what's the other thing which is important about what you mentioned about the mission and vision, I think it's good to share your purpose. The purpose of the organization, because the purpose is not just to make money. Yes, you want to make money, but they have to understand the bigger vision of the company so that they can internalize it.
Yes. So, job security and communication, they definitely go hand in hand. The other one is work environment. And work environment, I'm thinking about, do I have the necessary tools? For example, I'll give the example of sales professional, because this is where you find out conflict. Someone is supposed to be out in the field, but they've not been facilitated. So clearly, how do you expect them to deliver?
Sure.
It could be as simple as, the person recording this. If they don't have the best camera, and yet on one of their KPIs is to make sure there's a webinar planning on a particular day. If they don't deliver, is it really their fault? It's not. The company really hasn't invested in the right tools. So work environment is key. Give this person the right tools so that they can be able to deliver. Don't be very quick to ask whether they've delivered on the KPIs or when you have not facilitated. So I think that's a very important point that I wanted to bring out.
Okay. Cool. So any other points? Any other pillar?
The other one is so we've talked about compensation. We talked about the work environment. We talked about job security. The other one is career development. Do you really want to be where you are 10 years to come? I know you have a big position, but
maybe it suits me for now. I get what you mean.
Precisely. So people are looking for career progression, and it's for you. So it's your responsibility as an employer to offer that and see how can I make these persons work more interesting, more engaging. Because anyone doing something for 2-3 years, they will get into a rut, and they want flexibility, they want variety, such kind of things.
True. So career progression gives you, a very clear path of growth, and someone always wants to grow and take up bigger even challenges within their workspace. So what you missed when you said I'm the CEO here is that I've actually grown from a marketeer to become the head of marketing, to become a regional marketing person, to be there. So that's what keeps me really motivated.
So clearly, BrighterMonday is taking care of you.
You can say that. So that's a good consideration that employers need to put in place and ensure that they're communicating this to their employees and they actually mean it, because they have to show progress and that people are actually growing.
And you see, it goes back to what you're talking about, purpose.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you didn't have stayed there. if the purpose was not clear, if you didn't really buy into the vision and the mission.
True.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Any other points that you have to explore?
To add on to still career growth and development, the issue of training is also coming. Yeah, because I could be doing the same job, I'm happy with it, but there are always changes now and then. So how do your employees stay up to date? Not only for the sake of the company, even for themselves. And you see, the way I look at training, it serves two purposes. These people, you sharpen their skills, and at the same time, they're able to deliver.
True.
Yeah.
I think there was a saying I saw that, one of the managers said, it will be expensive to train these employees and then they leave your company.
Yes.
But the other person said, it could be even a bigger challenge if you couldn't train them and they stay.
And they stay, precisely.
So I think the point here is that employers need to allocate a budget, resources for training because they increase the productivity of the organization through the people that they employ and train.
So I think those are the main pointers.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you have something or question?
Yeah. So what's the role of leadership? Because when Perminus, you look at the organization, the structure which starts from the CEO down to the last person who's doing the manual jobs. There's an issue of leadership, and there's equal responsibilities within the leadership. That these are the managers and departments heads on how to sell the vision to the organization. I heard once from an employee that when an employee leaves an organization, they're not leaving the organization, they're leaving the boss. So that means the person they're reporting into. What's your advice, in the key role for leadership within organizations in terms of retaining staff?
For me, for us in leadership, we normally the ones who set the tone and the agenda. And like your friend rightly mentioned, a lot of times people don't leave the organization, they look at the people who are managing them. So then when you are setting the tone is what culture are you putting in place? And culture is, a simple definition is how are things done? So are you professional, for example, as a leader? Do you follow the laid down procedures yourself? Are you paying me market rates? Because you couldn't, it's absurd for you to ask of me something that you are not doing, you're not practicing. It's those ones of preaching water and taking chana, forget even wine. So you set the tone, and then the rest follow. Because, for example, we know, things haven't really been very good this year.
True.
But if you buy a Mercedes, and sometimes you're telling your staff that things are fake, it could be from your savings. Precisely. So some simple things.
Simple things that make employees lose trust within the leadership, and then it lowers their productivity because they feel there's no integrity within the organization.
They feel there's a disconnect. You are saying one thing, but you're doing another.
True.
And you can't, I tell my client that leadership or people relationships are not logical. If I see you with a new suit, I'm not thinking that this is from your savings. I'll think, no, this guy is telling us things are big, but you can see he's going to Dubai and got a very nice suit.
So people need to be transparent.
Uphold integrity. Exactly.
And connect with the people that they're working with as colleagues. Cool.
Perfect.
So the other thing is, Perminus, I noticed from most of the people who are coming to advertise for positions within our platform, I noticed increasingly, there's this new workforce that people are trying to study called the millennials. So within the millennials, employers are finding it really hard to understand them. Some claim that they feel entitled, that they do not concentrate within the work environment, that you hire them today and tomorrow they have left the organization. So what's the advice for you to the employers? Because we know increasingly we can't keep on hiring baby boomers who are phasing out from the job market. So now we have the millennials, we have Generation Z, which is coming, and these are the people that we hire. So how are we going to build successful companies, and how do we incorporate or rather work with these millennials and ensure productivity in the organization?
I think for me, it's to tap into the energy and really try to understand it more and work with them. Because it's a fact of life. I mean, a lot of the organization, even when I was, just at your reception, I could see it's a very young crowd. I mean, probably a lot of the people you have here are below 30 years.
Yeah.
So then is look at tap into their potential as opposed to really focusing on those negative elements or what you might consider negative. Because then they don't consider. If they want flexible work schedules, I think it's their right. So long as they're able to understand these are the KPIs, you start with them. Do you really have, it doesn't mean someone has to come to work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. for you to see that they're productive. No. So it's an issue of understanding and having a dialogue. Yeah. So that both parties understand each other. Obviously, there's some things millennials could learn from older guys like you and I don't know whether we are millennials, but
maybe we are facing out from the face.
Exactly.
We are millennials in heart.
In heart, yes. Yeah. So they are obviously there are issues. There's a meeting point that we want the organization to be successful. So if you start at that premise, then it's to say, wow, you as a millennial, Emmanuel, you feel you're most productive between 10 a.m. So can I give you a contract that says you report at 10:30 a.m. and leave at 8:30? Because that's how you deliver. Yeah, true. As opposed to me forcing you to do things the way they've been done. Yeah. So things are changing, and it's only fair we accept them and accommodate everyone.
Yeah. So I think the other missing bit from that is giving employees feedback, especially if we're talking about millennials.
Yeah.
So we should have an ability to change how we work, the structures. Like maybe previously we used to work with a balanced scorecard to evaluate employees, where you set metrics and do evaluation after the end of the year to say that actually, Perminus, you did a good thing in January, so I'm going to give you a 5 for that, and you messed up in February, and I'm going to give you a 1 for that.
Yeah.
So when you're working with the millennials, you have to change the way the structure, because they expect some instant gratification. A tap in the back, that's good job today with what you've done. So they don't have to wait for a whole year to get that feedback. I think that really motivates them and ensures that they're more productive within the organization.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for that. So quickly, as corporate staffing, because you're our client, and I believe most of the audience that will be watching this understand that when they're looking for talent, what are the key things that they put in place? Because you use our platform, how do you ensure that you attract the best candidates for your clients?
I would say success or failure depends on you as an advertiser. Because by the time I come to BrighterMonday, I've already had a meeting with a client who's given me the specifications, and we've had a meeting to really, and I've advised them on the do's and the don'ts and how the market is and all that. So when I'm crafting a JD or an advert for that matter, is to try and be specific as possible to meet the needs. Like you said, I don't want just copy paste. It's really to come down to what is needed for this position. And then remember, and I don't know how many HR people know this, an advert is like an advertisement.
Yeah.
A job advert.
It is.
You're putting an ad.
Yeah.
It's not any different. Yeah. So ask yourself, would this attract the ideal candidate who I have in mind? I'll give you a very simple example. Do you know there's a difference between business development and sales and marketing?
Yeah. I hear people say, I'm looking for a marketer.
Yeah.
I found a way to understand that this person is looking for a sales person.
Exactly. Yeah. So such things. And you can only now, me when I have a sitting in the client and tell them, oh, okay, I hear what you're saying, but from my point of view, I think you're looking for a sales executive. So they say, oh, wow, yes.
What about those clients who package, maybe they're looking for a receptionist.
Yeah.
And they say they want to have a personal
assistant.
Yeah, or even throwing a director tag within that job description. What's your advice for them?
Don't try to, I would say, don't be technical with job adverts. That's one. And then don't try to impress yourself.
Yes.
If it's a receptionist, just please say it's a receptionist. If it's an officer, don't say it's a manager. Because you're attracting managers. Candidates who are already managers. Or you see him, Because the other thing is the title might be leading manager, but the content is not manager. So you don't attract the people who are already managers, and the content, you don't attract those who want to be managers because the content does not
fit the job details.
It is not compelling enough.
So you end up losing.
Yeah. So and I think I've seen BrighterMonday, you try to educate us on such do's and don'ts. Even if you don't have a technical ability, you're not a HR person.
Yeah.
BrighterMonday is a good tool to look at the well done adverts.
Yes.
Mimic them, don't copy. Just
mimic the process. And I think what you're trying to get into is we have various ways that you can increase visibility within an advertisement, including what I said about job description details. So that's text. You spend your time, don't give an intern to write that. You need, the hiring manager or the department head needs to sit and identify the gaps within the organization. They're the ones that needs to put this in place. So please allocate some time to do that. But apart from that, there are various tools that you can use to ensure that you attract more people, especially even if you're a small company, throwing in your company logo within the job adverts shows some more credibility that this is a real company which is out there and looking for people. And you can actually compete the likes of big multinationals within the market for the same talent. So imagine you have a talent base which is equal, and you need to attract and get the best, because it doesn't matter what level of organization is looking for these people. Apart from that, just increase on the visibility. We have extended reach through our large community, through social media. People get matches on email and they get these alerts. So if you post with the right requirements, people actually that are relevant can apply for these jobs. So make use of that, utilize those features, and the best piece of it is if you receive applications, the biggest challenge that employers get, where do you spend most of the time when you receive application? What's the biggest challenge?
Many of you said shortlisting.
Shortlisting, yeah. Precisely. So shortlisting takes the largest, time and resource, because you're looking at pages of people who are qualified, some are not qualified, some have submitted really poor applications, but you want to give them an equal chance. So what BrighterMonday has done is that we have an application tracking system. So this is the dashboard that helps you shortlist these candidates. So if you had 1,000 applications, you can easily use a search to make sure that, to shortlist and have the top 5 or 3 people that you need to interview in a very short time. So the Employer Center is a tool which is really useful. If you need that as a test, if you don't have one yet, please email through Emmanuel at BrighterMonday.co.ke, and I'm going to set you up. Cool. So Perminus, any final words about how to attract and retain top employers before we close this?
Thank you, Emmanuel. I think my advice is you have to be very intentional. If you really want to thrive, if you want to do well as a company, you have to be intentional with your human resource. People say, people are our biggest asset, but then how are you taking care of your asset? That's the question. Yeah. So put measures and plans in place that will really motivate and engage your staff. Don't leave this to chance. And that's why I was very excited to come and share this with you and your audience.
Cool. Yeah. So thank you so much. We look forward to have another discussion within the next few days or months. I'm not sure we're going to a holiday, December.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to go and have a rest.
Yeah, we need to go have a rest. But yeah, we're going to put plans in place. So I'm looking forward. Thanks so much for your time. Asante sana. Bye-bye.
Thank you.